theology, that which flowers from the ideal, the doctrine that emerges from the charism, is not founded on any human culture, because a charism is the Holy Spirit. It is something we understood being in the kingdom of heaven, as all Christians are, but we experience it a little through the grace of God. Well then, this theology is like a white light. It has no color. It has no culture. It is not founded on a culture. And yet, it is the explanation of the truths of faith, of God love, of the Trinity, of Jesus, of his incarnation, death and abandonment, of all the church. Well then, a white light can serve all colors, all cultures. It can penetrate deep inside every human being because Jesus is the person. He is not a person. He is the person. Then I said, how interesting it would be to know how these various seeds of the word, and the nuncio told me that there are many, many more in Africa than in Asia, where he also lived. I believe that there were more in Asia. He explained this to me too. So I said, how interesting it would be if our Focolarini, in building this unity we spoke of, so as to transmit the ideal, because if the others do not have the Holy Spirit, they can't understand. They can't bring new light into their culture. But also because we must do this, we must bring the ideal. Building this unity is the first step towards inculturation, making ourselves one. This is our first instrument, the great instrument that God had given to us because we have the charism of unity. Why couldn't there be truths in all cultures if they are seeds of the word? This is our first instrument, the great instrument that God had given to us because we have the charism of unity. Why couldn't there be truths in all cultures if they are seeds of the word? They too could document these truths that have emerged. Some have already come forth. For example, to explain that we saw a sun beneath everything, like a sun that was the presence of God in creation. The Focolarini turned to Buddha. They said he had a rather similar experience, but different because it wasn't Trinitarian. But I won't explain this to you now. He didn't see a Trinitarian God. He saw like a sun, because practically speaking, he was a mystic. So, the upper school is already beginning to be very wide-ranging. In the future, we will be able to express these experiences of ours in theory. We will be able to collect them into volumes and have a library. And our Focolarini and Focolarine, men and women religious, and everyone in the movement will be able to spend a year or two at this school so that truly this can go on. Then, yes, we can speak of a boom of the movement in Africa. Then, yes, evangelization will assume enormous proportions. Why? Because the Africans will feel understood and they will run with us. They will feel understood in the deepest part of their being. Another idea that came to me, could be an inspiration, is that our little town, the Mariapolis Piero, does not only have the task of developing everything as the other little towns, and also of cultivating especially those who have special talents in all fields, and of setting up businesses like the others, because what we see in one zone then becomes everyone's. But here, a school must begin for our inculturation.